She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar.
What's good, Gemini 2 Sets? It's your girl, Shannon Nicole. Period, boo. And we're back with another video. Woo, woo. Yes. Okay. So as you guys can tell by today's title, we are going to be doing a story time. And this story time is how I learned how to drive. Now, before I get into this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, you can even, drop some comments down below of some future videos you want to see me do, positive thoughts, good encouragement, whatever you want. As long as it's positive, I'm loving it all, no complaints. But number two, before I get into this video, I just want to make a disclaimer about driving in general. One, it doesn't matter how old you are to learn how to drive. Anyone can learn how to drive. And it really all depends on you, your mindset, what you want. So don't feel discouraged if you don't have your license yet, or if you feel like, you're too old, or you made a mistake, and, whatever it is that's holding you back, let me be the first one to tell you. You can do it, okay? It does not matter how old you are. As long as you have someone willing to teach you, then sweetie, that's all it is. That's all that matters. We each reach our own milestones at different times in life. So please don't let anyone else's achievements discourage you from making your own. That's all I wanted to say. Now let's get into the video. I'm going to take this back way back when I was in high school, when I was first learning how to drive. So my mother she loved saying, oh, she was going to teach us how to drive and, just help us get our license and all of that. But she was always busy working, and when she wasn't busy working, she was too tired to teach us, or she did the random, okay, let's, go that one time, and that was it. So I didn't get a real teaching experience in my younger years because it was different excuses, it was different reasons, and then eventually I kind of just gave up on that avenue. I was like, you know what, I'll find a way to drive another way. And I know some people are saying like, well, why didn't you just, take the course, pay for it, and, you can have your own instructor and all that. Let me be the first to tell you, my mother did not want to do that. She didn't want us waste any money. And she thought that would be a waste of money because she said she could teach us herself. That didn't work out because she was too busy or too tired. So that opportunity went past as well. I did have a college friend, and I did ask her to teach me how to drive, but the only thing that was stopping her from teaching me was me having my permit. And I went to school in Virginia, which is literally the other side of America. So, with being over there and then living back over here and having different addresses, it was just really complicated with the DMV and trying to figure out what address I wanted to have on my license, because I wasn't going to stay in Virginia for, forever. So yeah, that was another little bump in the road, which was a little discouraging. But like I said, we all achieve our milestones at different times in life. So although I didn't learn until after college, I know it's so weird saying it. Honestly, I learned about maybe a year and a half ago, probably not even a whole 2 years ago. And at that point, I was definitely fed up with all the excuses. I was fed up with myself for not pushing harder. And I was just coming at a point in my life where I was like, I want to be independent. I want to be able to drive myself around. I want to be able to drive others around because people have been driving me around all my life. And I was tired of being chauffeured. I really wanted to be independent. And so I asked my ex at the time to help me learn how to drive because he was the one who was driving me around. And I, quite frankly, was not all gung-ho for that because I'm like, I want to be able to go out and do my own things too. So I asked him, could he teach me how to drive? And so it started off okay, I will say. But mind you, I gave him my previous driving experience. My mom had taught me once, and that one time that she taught me did not go well at all. Let me just be the first one to put it out there. It was just a bad experience in the car with her because she was very nervous, which made me very nervous. And so okay, I'm gonna tell you guys really quick. So I was in my neighborhood, well, my aunt's neighborhood, which is the neighborhood over, and just driving around somewhere close to the house where I wasn't going too far, wasn't doing nothing crazy, just literally learning the ways of the road in the neighborhood safely. I was over here, of course, in the driver's seat. I had her in the passenger seat, and I was about to turn onto my aunt's street. And she lives on a little not a cul-de-sac, but her street had like curved all the way around. And so I was about to enter that little curve, and out of nowhere she started freaking out. And I had on my blinkers and everything. I was ready to go. I was confident in making that turn because I made the other turns to even get over there. And she started freaking out. So I'm in the middle of the turn and she's like, no, wait. And so I pause. So I'm braking in the middle of the street and I'm like, what? And she's like, oh no, keep going, keep going. And then I keep going. Oh, wait, stop. What? And she's like, no, keep going. And so the whole stop, keep going, stop, keep going. I was going into the curb. Like, you're freaking me out. I'm not even making the complete turn because you're freaking me out. I don't understand why you keep yelling at me. Like, stop, wait, like, don't do it. But I'm like, there was no other cars on the road. I was confident in making my turn. I knew I could do it. I was literally in the midst of doing it. But with her freaking out in the passenger seat freaked me out. So it made me question myself. Like, am I doing something wrong? Like, what happened? So I ended up going like right into the little, okay, I don't even know how to demonstrate. Okay, so the little curve was like this, and I was going right into it instead of making a nice smooth little, well, all her stop, wait, stop, wait, stop, wait. I was like, I stopped right here and I paused and I flipped out and I said, what? Like, what is happening? Why are you yelling at me when I was making the turn? Because now you're freaking me out. And so we had a whole conversation that did not end well. So I eventually backed up, went to my aunt's house, parked across the street, got out, and I was like, I can't with you, like, your nervousness is going to freak me out behind the wheel. And who is that good for? Like, that's not safe for anyone. So don't freak me out behind the wheel. And her nerves were just off the rails. So that, we never tried that again. Never, never, never. Yeah, so that was that. Now, fast forward to when my ex was trying to teach me how to drive when I asked him. So he knew that whole story, how it went. He knew basically, like, I don't do well with people freaking out at me or yelling at me. I don't do well with that. I am a very calm person. I respond to calm people, especially when I'm nervous on the inside and I'm just trying to, be responsible and do a good job. The nerves that's over here or in the back seat or wherever is going to freak me out. I'm that type of person. I need complete calmness around me. So yeah, he knew all that. Keep all that in mind. So the first couple of times that he really let me drive, not the best to say, but it was under the influence, and not like drinking or anything, just another influence. And I questioned him about that too. I'm like, why are you trying to teach me how to drive after knowing, you know, we done did whatever, our festivities? And I'm like, this is the worst time on earth for you to be teaching me how to drive. Like, why would you do that? And he's just like, you can handle it, you can do it, and that's all I was taught, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, you know, it's just time to put on those big girl panties and do the dang thing, you know? And so I persevered. I pushed through those first couple of times. Like, I know one time he had picked me up from work and we were on our way back home, and it was so much traffic. I think he was, I can't even remember if I actually drove that time. No, I think he really wanted me to drive that time because it was like, it's traffic, you know, everyone's moving slow on the freeway, so, you know, just go for it. And I was like, no. I'm under the influence, no. And it's on the freeway, no, we're not doing that, because I don't play with my life, and I would never on earth play with someone else's knowing I'm under the influence like that. No, a lot of other people probably would have took that opportunity, but I am a super responsible person. Well, I try to be a super responsible person, you know, so I'm like, it's no way on earth you're gonna get me on the freeway, you know, that's too new, it's too fresh, I can't handle it. So instead he started teaching me on the streets, still under the influence, but we would go to, like, you know, in and out to go get food or something. So, you know, more traffic, but it's on the street, it's going through a drive-through. I had to do my little turns and all that, so that was okay. I did that. Driving around his house, that was cool, did that. And then now we get to the real kicker. It was one day he needed to go to his parents' house and he wanted me to come with him. So the way he operated, he was like that, throw something on real quick and hop in the car and leave. I'm the opposite. I like to fully get ready, especially if I'm going to be in, you know, in front of his parents or something like that. I was always taught to be presentable, not sloppy or messy. So, mind you, I didn't know we were going to his parents' house. He knew, I didn't know. So when he said, you know, we're going to go for a drive, I'm literally thinking, we're going to go for a drive. He's going to teach me. He's going to tell me to turn here, turn there, wherever, you know. I thought that's what it was. We get on the road and he tells me I'm going to drive to his parents' house. And I'm just like, what? And he was like, oh yeah, I need to stop by there and do whatever. And so I'm just like, I just hopped out of bed. I look a mess, you know, like, we can go over there, but I'm not going to go in because I don't look presentable right now. You know, I started driving and I was doing so well. Let me tell you, I was doing so well. And we got near his parents' house and it was a little bit of traffic because where we were, it was some people selling stuff on the side of the street. And so a few people had stopped. I think one person had parked their car, and with me driving, I was about to make my little right turn. That's where all the parked cars were. So I literally pulled up right behind a parked car, and I wasn't aware until it was like too late. And so on my left hand side was all the traffic, you know, like people were just zooming and going, and it was just really hard to get over. That was my first time ever trying to like go around a car in traffic, so I was nervous to do it, but I did it. However, this was the worst driving experience part, because it was, like I said, it was cars coming, and it wasn't traffic like everyone was backed up. No, it was just a big open road. Everyone was speeding and going and going. It was a lot of cars, and they were all speeding. So I was nervous to make that left and to go around the car. Now, my ex was an expert driver, right? So he knew times he could have gone, like in that split second moment. I'm pretty sure he would have gone way before I went. But again, I was new. He was definitely an expert in driving. He's been driving for years. I was very new at it. I didn't feel comfortable making that split decision, hurry up and go around the car, because I was too new of a driver and I didn't feel confident enough to do that. I wanted to wait until it was a safe go ahead type of moment, and I had more than enough time to go around the car calmly, because like I said, I'm a very calm person, and anything that's going to give me anxiety is going to throw me off my game. So there was a time where he saw an opening for me to go around. However, it was one of those split second decision things that he would have gone for. An expert driver would have went for that opening. However, because it was me, it happened so fast. And I was just like, I looked when he said to go, and I'm like, cars are right here. Like, no. Oh my God. Like, I would not, so I did not make that, go around at the time that he told me to go. And then everything went bad from there. He flipped out on me. Oh my goodness. He flipped out. He started yelling at me. I think he cussed at me. He was just like, you don't listen. You should have gone. Blah, 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 blah. That's why you can't be taught, and blah, blah, blah. Like, he was outraged. He was pissed off. And I ended up just like, I couldn't even, it was so much. Like, he yelled at me. He's never raised his voice at me like that before. And I'm like, and I still have to make the left turn. Him saying that I don't listen, or to like a teacher instructions and all of that, was making me real angry, because I was just like, but it wasn't a safe time for me to go, And so I found an opening where traffic had kind of died down. Cars weren't coming as fast. It was less cars coming in general. And I saw an opening where I felt comfortable, where I felt confident enough to go around the car and then make the turn and get to his parents' house. He's still going off. He's still mad. He's still outraged. Even though I executed going around the car perfectly, it just wasn't the time when he wanted me to go. He wanted me to go as if an expert would have went, as if I was the expert driver, not realizing I'm just a beginner. I'm still learning, And so the fact that he flipped out on me and didn't feel the need to apologize was crazy in itself, because I'm like, what did I do wrong? I went when I felt comfortable. And is that not what you're supposed to do when you're driving, when you're learning how to drive? I get being instructed to do those things, but you have to feel confident in doing it before you do it, And so it drove a wedge between him and I, because we didn't see eye to eye. He did not apologize. And he said he will never teach me another way, because that's how he was taught. He was taught with people yelling at him, with people, I guess, being just aggressive and over the top. And I specifically told him, I don't like to be taught like that, because that's how my mother tried to teach me, and her freaking out in the passenger seat freaked me out, and that did not end up going well. So I was just like, why would you, try to teach me the same way that I told you already did not work for me? And he just did not care. And he was just like, well, I'm not going to teach you any other way. Actually, after all that situation, he said he would not teach me anymore, that I needed to find someone else to teach me how to drive because he couldn't work with me. All because he was trying to force me to go at a time that I didn't feel comfortable doing. And I'm like, if I would have made that turn when he wanted me to, with cars coming super fast, we probably would have got into an accident, because again, other people's nerves and anger and yelling freaks me out. So I was not prepared to make that turn. And no matter how much I tried to explain that to him, he was not trying to hear it. He was not trying to understand. He was just like thinking in a one-track mind, like, you didn't go when I said to go, and so now I'll never teach you again. And I was like, wow, like literally, wow, that's how my boyfriend is going to teach me? Really? And so I ended up having to call his best friend after, because I was so angry. Like literally, I was shaking. I was so angry, and we had lived together. So I was just like, I can't even be in the same room with you. I'm so mad. I'm so angry. And he really quit on me, all because I chose to go a few seconds later than when he told me to go. It was just so crazy to me. I'm like, you're really going to quit on me because of that? So anyways, I had to talk to his best friend and really get the background information on him teaching people how to drive, because he taught her how to drive. And so I was just like, is this how he taught you? Like, did he yell at you, like full on yelling, if you didn't do something exactly when he said to do it, exactly how he said to do it? Did he flip out on you? Because literally, I didn't understand it. I've never had a teacher who flipped out on me that bad. Even my mother wasn't even that bad. So it's just like, it was baffling to me. It really, really was. And I still, to this day, I still don't understand that. Like, I promise you, like, I don't understand that. Like, I made that turn perfectly, but when I was ready, and that was the problem. Oh, whatever. So anyways, his best friend had told me, like, yeah, he is, kind of raw like that. And so I was just like, girl, I don't know how you did this. Like, I don't know how you put up with him, but I did have to keep in mind, me and her, we have two different personalities. She is a little bit more straightforward than me, so she is able to handle all that. That's why they are best friends. And that's why we're not, because I can't do that. But anyways, one of my best friends decided to teach me how to drive. And now me and her, she took over after my ex had canceled on me, being my teacher and instructor. And yeah, so she taught me how to properly drive. We would wake up early in the morning. Like, she was just so sweet. She made a whole schedule for when we were gonna practice driving. She would literally come pick me up and then just tell me to hop in the driver's seat. She would get in the passenger seat. Sometimes she would even surprise me on the days where I thought we were just going to hang out, and she would just pull up and already be in the passenger seat, and she'll be like, get in, you're driving. And I'm like, what? And like, it was just so, her approach was so different. It was just so helpful and appreciated. She took her time with me. She never raised her voice. She didn't freak out. And even if she did, like, have a little bit of nerves, like, she would even, like, reassure herself, it's just her nerves. Like, don't pay attention to it. I'm still doing a great job. She was amazing. She let me know when I was doing a good job. She let me know what I needed to work on. And I mean, she just worked with me until I was really able to drive by myself. I will always appreciate her forever and ever for, just picking up the pieces where everything shattered for me, and just was so committed and just so thoughtful and so nice. and was just like, you know what, I know you really want to learn how to drive, so we are going to do that. We are going to get you a license, okay? And you're going to be able to learn how to, you're going to be able to drive soon enough. And when I mean she was correct, she was so correct. She even went with me and my ex to go to the DMV to get my license. And yeah, it was just a different learning experience with her. It was just more detailed. It was more thought out. She never wanted me to drive under the influence. So we always did any type of festivities after, like as a little reward, as a celebration. But it was never during. And so from this story, yes, I do have my license. As you can see, I do have my own car now. Hey. But yeah, so I'm just really sharing this story because, like I said in the beginning, it really doesn't matter what other people have going on. It doesn't matter when they achieved certain things. Anyone at any age, at any time can achieve driving, because I did, and even I felt like I was behind other people. I was comparing myself to other people. I was, just jealous and envy. I'm like, I want to drive. I want it so bad. Every time I see a friend or whoever, people I went to school with, just driving or having their own cars, and I didn't have anything. And I was just like, I was so angry with myself, not other people, with myself, because I'm like, why am I in this predicament? But that's the mindset of comparisons, like always comparing yourself to other people is not going to get you far in life at all. So I just really had to humble myself, and my best friend really, really helped with that. She just, like I said, she was very thoughtful. I'm going to just stop with the adjectives. She was there for me the entire process, the entire way. She was calm, cool, collected. She was very detailed in telling me all the things I did correctly, all the things I didn't do correctly. And we just kept working at it and working at it, and this is on top of having jobs and everything. So when I appreciate her, I really do, because we would wake up early, okay, and just go at it. And sometimes we would be out driving for like 2 hours and probably go work out and a whole bunch of other stuff. So she factored me into her schedule for like maybe 2-3 times out of the week. And I could not be any more thankful or grateful for her, because my mom didn't do that. My ex for sure didn't do that, okay? And sometimes it takes a little bit of patience. It takes knowing the right people. It takes just the right time for things to fall in line. I also want to say there are different type of teachers out there, and there are different type of learners out there. Just because my ex, he was taught in a more aggressive environment to learn how to drive, does not mean that same teaching way is set for everyone else. Like his best friend, he taught her how to drive. She can handle that aggressiveness, that straightforwardness, that nonchalant type of vibe. I'm the complete opposite. I need more thoughts. I need more details. I need that calm, cool, collected personality, because that's just what works for me, and I think it's very important to know your learning style and to also know your teaching style. Not to say that you are teaching, if you do want to teach, cool, but also just, there are so many different teachers out there in different fields and different aspects. So not everyone is going to have the same teaching methods, the same teaching ways. And it's important to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I've had so many teachers over the years. So when it came to driving, I already knew what I needed. I didn't need anything aggressive. I didn't need anyone freaking out with anxiety. I needed someone calm, cool, collected so I can stay calm, cool, and collected, because driving is the big deal. One of my biggest reasons for not learning how to drive soon enough or pushing for it soon enough is all the car accidents out there. Things that you can personally do, or car accidents that just happen to you. It's dangerous out here. Driving can be dangerous, which is why I was super cautious in learning how to drive. Who was teaching me? I tried the aggressive way. I tried the anxiety way. It didn't work out for me. I didn't learn too much. Besides, I know I don't want to learn from that type of teacher ever again. That's what I learned. That's what I took away from that. But with my best friend teaching me, I learned that I am a great student. I already knew that. But I'm a great student. I am a good listener, despite what my ex thought. And I learned that it's all within your comfortability level. If you're not comfortable driving, maybe don't get behind the road just yet. Because if you're freaking out, if you're nervous, if you're not mentally prepared for what's on the road, then you're probably more likely to get into an accident. I don't have percentages and all of that, but literally it just, literally just find the right teacher that works for you. Now, for some people, that may be paying for an instructor to, teach you to do those behind the wheel tests, to pass the written test, all of that. Maybe some people do prefer a teacher. Maybe some people do need that aggressive, straightforward, give it to me, straight, just like it is. And then some people need someone a little bit more, let's say, nurturing, for lack of better words. I'm that type of person. Yes, I do like to be straightforward, give it to me straight. What did I do wrong? What did I do right? But at the same time, I don't like that over aggressive behavior. I don't need anyone being mean to me. I don't like that nonchalant, I don't care type of vibe, because I'm learning how to drive. You should care. You're teaching me how to drive. You should care. How I learn is through you. So yeah, you definitely should care. I don't like that nonchalant, ignorant type of thinking. I don't. Sorry, it was the light flickering. But yeah, all I can really say is choose your teacher wisely. Definitely do that. Know what works for you. And lastly, don't be discouraged and don't compare yourself to other people, because their story is not going to be your story, and your story is not going to be theirs. Everyone is going to achieve different things at different times in their life. That's why we're all different. That's why we're all human beings at the end of the day. Anything is possible. Just put your best energy forward with the right people, and I promise you, you will exceed. You will get your license. You will get your permit. Okay, you will be out on the road. You will be driving. Speak it all into existence, because I did, and look at me now. It took me a little longer than what I planned, a little bit longer than what I thought, but I'm happy it worked out the way it did, because I did have the perfect instructor at the end of the day. I did have to go through some bad apples first, but I got to the right one who helped me, who's best for me. And that's all that really matters, So with that being said, go get your license, boo. Okay, find your instructor and go get that license. I know you want to drive. I know you want to be out on the road. I know you want to travel. I know you want to show off to your girls, your boys, your whoever, your family. Go get your license. It's that easy. Bye.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's not